Good morning, Connection Cheyenne. This is Real Estate Live at 8:45 with Capital Real Estate Partners, and I'm Kathy.
I'm Pam.
And I'm Belinda. And today we are going to start our morning off with 2020 stats for the housing market. And so we're going to run through some numbers here for you. It won't take us too long, and then we'll go into our main topic. So for Laramie County, this is 2020 versus 2019. Average days on the market for a home was 30 days, and in 2019, it was 31.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for RE/MAX here in Cheyenne, the average days on the market for 2020 was 18 versus in 2019, 23 days.
Ooh, they got that RE/MAX hustle going on
Yeah,
in
yes,
2020.
sure.
The average price in 2020 was $322,129, and in 2019 it was $290,895. So definitely an increase in home values in Laramie County.
Yeah, that for sure.
And then number of homes sold in 2020 was 2,249. And Kathy, what does it say in 2019?
2,078.
Wow.
So we had a jump in there.
We did, which is crazy because the inventory has been so low consistently. So, but it's good.
And you'd think with COVID that we would have seen a decrease, but Cheyenne actually saw a huge increase during those few months where the country was kind of shut down and people didn't know what to do. And so I think they just started saying, let's buy a house.
Well, not only we were considered essential workers.
Yeah.
And because I remember going and showing several homes during the I don't know, was it the lockdown? Probably not the lockdown, but after like your first initial 2 weeks, people were, let's go look at a home.
Yep.
And so it was actually really busy.
Yeah.
Well, and just the increase of people wanting to move to Wyoming and Cheyenne, it's really increased a lot.
It has, actually.
So
It has.
that's good.
Yeah.
At our meeting last week, what wasn't it? Stephanie was saying that in the numbers of people searching for Cheyenne and Wyoming, the greatest numbers from the state are from Colorado and California. A lot of people are wanting to move to Cheyenne and Wyoming. So
Maybe have some wide open spaces.
heck yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, which was true this weekend on our open houses. We actually had some people from Colorado, and they're just wanting to come north. And
I mean, we've always known Wyoming's great. I think everybody else is just kind of figuring it out. But we don't want to get too big.
Yeah. We like it small.
We do.
We like to know our neighbors.
Yes.
Definitely. So no, those are fun stats to look at. But today, our main topic that we're wanting to go over is always a fun one. And I think, a lot of people probably will gain some valuable information from this, but it's the term FSBO, or for sale by owner, versus using a real estate agent, and why or why not you should do either one. So
I mean, there's a lot of reasons why a lot of people think that for sale by owner is going to be better. And like we were saying, some people do for sale by owner and have done it many times, and it's fine, and that's your choice. One thing that I know that they do like or think about when doing the for sale by owner is the agent commission. They want to save the money that they're making on the sale of their home, which is great, and we understand that coming from an agent. There's different things that you can do, but most of the time you do realize, or eventually, I shouldn't say my words, it's a Monday, a lot of times agents, even with buyers, they see the for sale by owner and call them and set up an appointment. When we do that, we do ask about the commission, because most of the time with the for sale by owner, if you do have someone represented, you're going to be paying the buyer's commission, the buyer's agent commission anyways. So then in negotiations, that does leave you open because you're not represented. There's other ways too. I know, Belinda, you've done it with the commission where you actually did the paperwork for a smaller commission for sale, for a for sale.
you do the paperwork for the for sale by owner, but you're still doing the same amount of work as an agent. So in all reality, I guess it goes back to either way, you're going to more than likely have to pay some sort of a commission. And I know you think, well, the housing market's hot. It's great for sellers right now. So let's just do a FSBO. And that's not true because, We'll go into why.
Yeah.
There's so much more into it.
not recently, but in October, November, got it for sale by owner. Talked to them for a little while and asked why they weren't using an agent. And one of the big things was because they didn't want to pay a commission. I said, okay, that's fine. And they had it listed for, I think like 3 months. And, I kind of did express to her that maybe it was a little overpriced. And that's probably why maybe some agents aren't coming to see the house or bringing their clients by.
Right.
She also mentioned that, she wasn't letting really anyone in her home to see the house or letting appointments be made. And then they did travel a lot, so they would just leave their key with the neighbor. And
so
the neighbor so the neighbor
be.
was just kind of, okay, yeah, sure, come on, and I'll let anyone into your home. And they still did have stuff in their home. I mean, they had a lot of stuff. They were moving out of state, but they still had a lot of stuff in their home. I mean, the gentleman had guns and fishing equipment, stuff that's of value to them. So when you leave your key with the neighbor and ask your neighbor to just let people in to see the house, who knows who's coming in? Yeah.
Whereas an agent, we do ask questions of our customers or clients on, especially have you talked to a lender, because you need to have a lender before you even start looking, where they're from. A lot of agents will go ahead and take a picture of their driver's license. And us as agents, we had to be fingerprinted and all of the background check before we could even get our license.
Right, and when you use the lockbox,
it tracks you.
It tracks what agent and what time and how long they were there and that kind of thing. So when you're a for sale by owner, you don't have any of that security. Of knowing who's coming and going, when they're coming and going, how long they were there.
When you're there, essentially, you're just letting strangers into your house with no
hopes of and even if you are the one letting them in and you're not leaving it up to your neighbor, you don't know who's coming into your house. If they don't have an agent, or if you're not willing to pay a buyer's agent, now you're just letting Joe Schmo that saw your sign driving by saying, oh hey, I think I want to exactly. So there are safety concerns when you're for sale by owner.
Definitely.
Let's see. Another one. So working at your own pace, a lot of people think that when you're doing the for sale by owner, you do have control of your pace. And when you work with a realtor, you do not have control of the pace that you're working at, which is completely not true. We work for our clients and our customers. That is our job. So we do go at your pace. We go over everything you can do to get started, the whole process from beginning to end. But if you need a little extra time to get your house ready by either decluttering or doing a few maintenance issues, it's fine, and we understand. And if it gets pushed out a little bit longer, it's not a big deal. We do work at your pace because we work for you. So that's why.
And there's no pressure.
No.
There's no pressure.
There,
you can.
Go ahead.
You have options.
Yeah.
And, you do know your house the best, but that's also part of our job is we will, go through your house with you, write down all the fun little details that you have. If you have a fun story, we can write those down and share that with them. Yeah, put it in the description for other agents to see so they can share it.
Yeah.
There's
different ways.
Like going back to description, I think, it's an emotional process for some sellers. Maybe some people, they've lived there for, 20 something years and they're wanting to downsize or whatever. So they've had all these family gatherings. They have all the pictures on the walls and, all this stuff. And so when you bring someone into their home to look at it and they're for sale by owner, they more than likely probably want to be at the house and be present. Sometimes even if they're not for sale by owner, they still want to be at the house and be present, which is fine. But you get into a little, gray area sometimes with the owners and them wanting to relay all the information to the buyers.
Yeah.
Which could get, or
TMI.
Yeah. Which, some buyers, they don't want to hear about all of your memories or see all of your pictures or see, because they want to envision themselves being in the home.
Right.
So it could be
It's
a little deterrent.
Right. With an agent. Because emotion, you want to take the emotion out of it.
Yep.
And if you're handling the whole process yourself, it's easier to have too much emotion.
And stress.
And stress.
Yeah. Stress.
Kind of leads into our using an agent.
Agents, yes.
There's quite a few points that we'll go over, but bringing kind of along that same line is your negotiation skills. We're trained to have negotiation skills as agents, so we can do that for you. We can relay all your information, but we'll do it with out, the emotion behind it. And when you're doing it yourself,
It is hard.
it's hard.
Yeah. Well, and if you're for sale by owner and you are working with a buyer's agent, you are going up against them by yourself. And there's so much legal stuff that goes into buying and selling a home that a lot of people don't realize.
Mhm.
And when you're working as that for sale by owner, it does leave you open. A lot of people don't understand the legal documents or
The verbiage.
the verbiage or the contracts. Even working with title, with how to do the title or inspections.
Yeah.
The legal and the stress that can put on you doing a first time buy owner is a lot. And with working with an agent, we take that on for you.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it helps
Well,
a lot.
And the Wyoming Real Estate Commission, they have an attorney that goes through. In fact, they just revamped our contracts. But I mean, there's attorneys working on our contracts, so we trust them for the right verbiage instead of,
Right.
as a for sale by owner, you're just
Pulling up a
putting something-
contract on Google.
Yeah, and you have
Yeah.
no idea who wrote it up,
Mhm.
if it even covers you.
And then is it even
valid
valid
in
enough?
Wyoming.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then if you don't want to use it and you do get into negotiations or contracts and something happens, more than likely you're going to be hiring a lawyer, which can be just as much, if not more expensive than a realtor's commission.
Right.
To help you out because of ramifications from not doing inspections or inspections being done and non-disclosures of certain issues with the house.
Yep.
There is so much that leaves you open, and as realtors and with our brokerage, we take on that liability for you with our contracts. So
Yeah, and I mean, ultimately, the buyer's agent is solely working for the buyer.
Mhm.
So they're not going to, I mean, I don't want to say they're not going to look out for you, but legally
not
they
their
don't
job.
have to. It's not their job to look out for you. So, I mean, I had a for sale by owner, and a different one where she didn't really understand a lot of the verbiage. And so here I am trying to explain to her, and I'm like, this is why you have a realtor, because they would be explaining all this to you. So, it does put more work on us if we are just a buyer's agent and they're haven't done it before and they think they can
You need
handle it.
extra
Yeah.
explanation.
So it's and you can't give too much information because you are ultimately the buyer's agent.
Yeah.
So
well, yeah, because you're working for the buyer. This is
Right.
we're working for the seller. So
Which I love the term fiduciary.
responsibility.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I love that
term.
responsibility.
well, I mean it's good. And kind of with that responsibility, the agents, we all work together here in Cheyenne.
Mhm.
So the good relationships that we have with each other, with each realtor in town, we know if, we can ask those questions of, is your buyer qualified to purchase this home?
Mhm.
You as a for sale by owner, you're just hoping for the best. You're hoping that whoever's coming to the table is going to be able to
Well, yeah,
pull through at the end and you're going to be able to get to the closing
Mhm.
table.
that's true.
Us as agents, if Belinda's got the seller and I'm the buyer's agent, me and her are constantly in communication, saying, well, where's the pre-qualified, letter? Where,
Mhm.
Who's the lender so I can talk to them and
Mhm.
find out for sure, if they're going to be able to follow through. Appraisal, appraisals are
Mhm.
another thing because you as a seller, you don't really get to see that information. It's all up to the buyer. The buyer pays for the appraisal. So, I mean, if you have an agent, they're able to kind of talk and
To work
get all
through
of
it.
that. Yeah.
Especially if it comes in low,
Yeah.
then that's a whole nother
There you go.
ballgame of understanding why then you have to drop the price.
There's
And,
lots of
and it
cans
goes
of
back to
worms
the
there.
emotion.
There's a lot of
of,
cans of worms.
what do you mean my house isn't worth this much?
Yeah.
So,
Zillow said it was.
Yeah. So-
Yeah, I mean it is, and it's just, and it takes more time. I mean, if you do, the numbers don't lie. It can take, I think I said most about 8% or so more or longer to sell your home as a for sale by owner
Yeah.
than using an agent. I mean, the numbers even from last year that we just gave you the market stats, it shows. I mean, it's going fast. It is a hot market, but doing that for sale by owner, and one of the reasons why, I mean, which we love, is because using an agent, you have access to the lovely MLS.
Yeah.
Exactly, which we can, Wyoming is a non-disclosure state, but we have access to what homes have sold for, so we can do your market analysis
Mhm.
on the home you're selling, and also agents can do it on the home for the buyer's sake.
Yeah.
And we really do have the inside knowledge on what the fair value is.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
think that's and then we can also, usually you can list it as an agent hire and you're gonna make, what was the percentage?
I
on
saw
that?
up to 25% more if you list it with an agent versus doing for sale by owner. So if you are worried about that commission It is paid, but that just proves that listing with a real estate agent, you are going to be making more because, like Belinda said, we have access to the numbers. It is not general knowledge. And that's one of the biggest misconceptions with Zillow is those numbers. They have no idea because they do not have access.
Yeah.
They are just pulling it off. And even your neighbor or so looking at, well, this house sold for that. Well, no, not necessarily, because we have access to concessions, being closing costs or anything.
Or if they go over.
If they go over,
yeah.
I mean, it's And we can tell you, like Belinda said, with pulling up in the MLS, what other homes in that neighborhood or even on your street have actually sold for. So we don't list it too high, and we stay within that to get you the most money the fastest.
Well, and I mean, going back to how long for sale by owners are on the market versus when you get a realtor with the one house, she had it listed from like June until, I started bugging her in October.
Yeah.
And then it was under contract within a month.
Mhm.
So kind of going back to the MLS and us having all that information that we can gather to make a more knowledgeable assessment of the home. And if you're not listed in the MLS, you really are doing a disservice to yourself for your home because you're limited to how many people are going to come see it.
Yeah.
Every agency in town, I would assume, has Tour Tuesday. So Tour Tuesday, that's a brand new house that's been listed in our office, and we all go out and we tour those homes on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, it's the MLS Tour Wednesday. So anything that's on the MLS from any office, we get that on Wednesdays. And so you have multiple agencies coming and seeing your home for potential buyers. So if you're not listed in the MLS and you're just hoping people are pulling up Zillow or whatever, you're limiting yourself to the amount of traffic that could possibly be coming to your house. And out-of-state buyers. I mean, we've all, during Corona and COVID, we all had out-of-state buyers, and they didn't have the luxury of coming to town. So we had to do video tours for them and send them, So it is a lot that goes into us working for you as a seller. So.
Well, even going back to like the meetings and everything, even if you're going to have one coming up, we're pitching it and talking in our office before. And it's been moving so fast that a lot of times they're going under contract really before they even hit the market or the day of, because we have that access and we've talked about it. And if you're uncomfortable doing tours, we can do virtual tours, we can do everything for our office so it's most convenient to you, because we will respect you if you do not feel comfortable having come in your home. We find ways to still get your home out there.
Right.
Or we can do face masks, sanitizer booties, anything that you want that makes work for you. That makes you feel comfortable in these times, because there is a lot going on. So that's our main goal as working for you.
Well, and kind of going back to like doing the virtual tours. I mean, if you're a for sale by owner and, you're taking your own pictures or doing your own videos, I mean, there's like some funny ones that we've seen where someone was maybe standing in the mirror when they took that picture, So having professional photography done for your home, I mean, it accentuates the greatest features.
Yeah.
If you're just kind of going around taking pictures of, the living room, the bedroom, and the kitchen because you think those are the great, which they could be great, but
it just depends on, And then wrapping this back into one of the services we do offer as a team is our staging services. As sellers, we offer free staging consultation. We'll go in, tell you what to declutter, what to take down, how to move your furniture. And if it's vacant, we'll stage it full stage and put furniture in there for you.
And you will always get professional photography.
Always.
Exactly.
I know you were talking about just the professional photography. We actually have talked about doing a little segment of pulling up pictures that agents have used. That can be kind of funny because some of the stuff you do see, it's a little interesting.
It is. I mean, you could probably pull up, we see posts all the time on Facebook of, check out this listing in Connecticut, of, I don't even know if it was a for sale by owner. It might not have been. It just might have been, I'm going to take my own pictures and submit them to you, and you're going to use them. And as agents, that's probably not always the best thing for the seller to do unless you're, really well at taking pictures.
Well, like in a picture, most people don't care what hair products and shampoo and
that you
all
have
that
on your
phone.
Or what the kids had for lunch that day.
Or what dishes are in your sink.
Right. And we'll always, we will, if we feel like we need to, or if you feel like you want us to, we'll be there that morning.
Yeah,
When,
and we'll help
you know,
get
pictures are being taken and stuff like that, so that, you know, we can put the toilet seat down or move that trash
ready.
can.
Find the Kleenex box.
Yeah, you know, so, I mean, pictures do, especially if you're having out-of-state buyers looking at your home, they can only use pictures.
Yeah.
So,
But what does it say? A picture says 1,000 words, or
picture's worth 1,000
a
words.
worth
Yeah.
1,000 words, and that's, true. With
Good or bad.
yeah. Which you could do a whole like blooper reel, which would be
for
kind of
sure.
funny.
We'll do that next time.
Yeah. I mean, like, we're not. I mean, if you choose to do for sale by owner, that's great, and we hope you have a great experience. I have a friend of mine that's all he's ever done, and that's fine. But there is, you know, different reasons, and if you have questions, call us and ask us.
That's true.
You know, we can do a certain amount just by doing a consultation. But I also think if you call and ask us or another realtor, you will see why we are important in this process to protect you, and to get the most money for you, and we
We
work
have
for
your best
you.
interest at
Yeah.
heart. So
Yeah.
we're working for you. We love working for you.
Mhm.
It's
And
our
we don't
job,
get
our
paid.
passion. Yeah.
Until you get paid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I mean, we work for you. We want it to work and to get you the most money for your house.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because we want you to use us again.
Yeah.
So, and it was 74% people will use the same realtor. I did see that.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, that's awesome. Yeah.
Very good. I feel like we should do Go Team.
Okay. Ready? Oh, should we do this way?
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway.
It's a Monday. I've only had
goodness.
one cup of coffee.
Yeah.
All right. Is there any questions we have for any of our
Let's see.
viewers?
Hey, audience, do you have any questions? We have 7 people currently watching, but in and out we've had like 25, 30 people
Great.
coming through. Yeah.
The other thing is, please check us out on our Facebook page at Capital Real Estate Partners. Like our page, we do share all this, but we have other great content, and you can
Yeah.
message us on there if you don't want to put the question on live.
Yep.
Feel free to message us. I mean, you get 3 for the price of 1. So
Exactly.
yeah,
One of us
Yeah.
will know the answer.
Exactly.
multiple. Or
Yeah, it's true. I already answered that question.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we had a little bit more to put
Yeah,
in.
exactly. And don't forget to push notifications here on Connections Cheyenne to make sure you're always notified when we go live at 8:45 on Mondays.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Cheyenne.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy
Bye.
Have a great day.